Welcome to Conversations That Matter. I'm Lydia Madrigal. Today's show discusses boxing and the role it's playing in the lives of trailblazers in our communities. We spoke to a very talented boxer about his journey in boxing, and this is what he had to say.
I've been working out like every day, nonstop since like 9 years.
About how many boxing matches do you think you've had in your life?
Like 120. I'm preparing to go international competitions. We're gonna be going to Puerto Rico and Chile, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, and I'm really just pushing myself towards that right now. These are all like prep tournaments, international prep tournaments, and they all lead up to the World Championships, that is one of the biggest competitions in the world.
Are these all considered pro, or what kind of category are you in now?
It's amateur still, but it's called the Elite Men's Division, and we fight with no headgear, and it's 3 rounds, 3 minutes. So it's kind of like a pro amateur type thing. You really got to push yourself. I mean, it's like you can come in here and do the same thing over and over, and if you're not mentally tough to do it, I mean, it's going to be hard to do it physically tough.
What do you think is the toughest aspect about boxing?
I think it's really mentally toughness. I mean, you got to always be mentally tough. You can't just go into the gym and just do the workouts. You got to push yourself, and you got to eat right. You can't have bad habits in it. You got to want to always go to the gym. You got to have a lot of discipline in your eating habits. You got to make weight. That's probably one of the biggest, toughest things. I mean, not a lot of people know that. They think you just come in here and hit the bag, and it's not that. You got to be mentally tough. You got to do conditioning. You got to make sure your weight's right. It's a lot of tough stuff that you got to go through.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully, I see myself in the pros. I've always wanted to go professional since I was little, and just one of the things I want to do. I wanted to box for my whole life. Before I even tried to do anything in the pros, I've been wanting to try doing the Olympics since I was a little kid as well. And I want to try to do the Olympics before I go pro. So.
What types of qualifying events do you have to go through in order to qualify for the Olympics?
You got to win the United States national tournament, and that gets you into the Olympic trials. Well, yeah, it gets you into Olympic trials if you win nationals. And you got to win the Olympic trials here, and you got to go to an international qualifier, and you got to win one of the. You got to get in the top 3 in one of those, and then you'll be an Olympian.
What kind of advice would you give a young person, say that's 8 or 10 years old, that wanted to be a boxer? What advice would you give them?
Just to keep following the dreams and always try to do what you want to do, because you never know where you can get in your life with it.
What do you think about women boxing?
It's getting more popular little by little. I mean, it was their first time in the Olympics this past year, so that's a big thing in theirs.
Would you say that the same types of workouts and mental toughness would apply to women boxing as it does to men boxing?
Yes, it's all the same. I mean, you got to be mentally tough, and you got to train yourself hard in the gym. Just no matter what gender you are, you got to push yourself.
So what inspired you to become a boxer?
Well, I've always watched it since I was little, because my dad was a boxer, and he would always talk about it and tell me stuff about it, and it sounded really cool. And we were taking a break off of baseball, and we had found the gym here, and he said if I would want to go try it, and I tried it, and I started liking it.
Now, typically boxing has been considered a man's sport, but that's been changing in the last 10 years. We spoke to women who have been very instrumental in the growth of women boxing, and this is what they had to say about boxing and what it has meant to their lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee George Chip stops this contest at 1 minute and 13 seconds of round number 8. your winner by TKO and still undefeated, now 20-0 with 17 knockouts, and she is still the WIBA Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Layla "CB Singing" Ali!
So the stage is set. We're just about ready to begin. Round one.
Impossible isn't a fact. It's an opinion.
They said it couldn't happen, but here we are.
Like when they said it'd be impossible to beat Sonny Liston. He's too powerful.
What other sport do you enjoy?
You know, I really wasn't into sports growing up.
I always thought that I'd be doing something special in my life that would help inspire and motivate people to follow their dreams. I didn't know exactly what it would be.
But I think that I could have been good at tennis, soccer, softball, basketball, pretty much anything. Swimming, skiing, no.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. But did you ever play any other sports that you
No, I
enjoyed?
didn't.
You didn't?
No, I was a rebel without a cause growing up, so I just wasn't focused enough to play team sports, and that's a regret of mine.
When I was a little girl, I knew that I wanted to do something that was going to help change people's lives, going to make a difference in people's lives, something positive. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And I think maybe that came from watching my father and how he had an effect on people. So I knew I could fight. You know, I had it in me. So when I first saw women's boxing on television for the first time, I was, how did I not know women box? How did I not know about this until now? Because I never wanted to be a fighter just by watching my dad. It wasn't an option to me until I actually saw women fighting, and I instantly wanted to do it, and I instantly felt like I could be a champion. You know, I knew. It wasn't a question. How am I just going to become a boxer? You know, it was like the idea of it, even though it excited me, it was like, how is that going to happen? What are people going to think? You know, I'm supposed to be going to school. And it took me about a year to actually follow the dream and go to the gym, train, make sure I had the talent. And, you know, because I already knew that it was going to be a big deal. Muhammad Ali's daughter wanted to be a fighter. And that was the other side of it. Oh, man, the world, once they get a hold of this, I already saw it flash before me what was going to happen.
By technical knockout and new IBA Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Layla Ali!
Well, one thing about me is that I knew I had the drive and I knew I had what it takes inside to be a fighter, but I want to make sure I actually had the talent. Now, it needs to be cultivated. I know that. You know, you have to have a certain toughness, a certain edge, and boxing always came first to me. And I'm a whole different person when I'm the fighter. Me is a whole different person than I am now.
I feel like doing it again.
Where do you get your strength, your inner strength?
I think that it's definitely something that is in my DNA from my dad and my mom. And just having parents that didn't limit me and were very positive in their actions and everything they said, and didn't ever make me feel like there was anything I couldn't do.
Or when they said, don't take the fight in Zaire. He's too young, too strong. He's gonna destroy Ali. So when my father looks impossible in the eye and defeats it, again and again, what do you think I'm gonna do when they say women shouldn't box? Yeah, that's right. Rumble, young girl, rumble.
According to coaches and their parents, boxing can make a big difference in a young person's life. We spoke to some young boxers in Midland, Texas, and this is what they had to say about boxing and being part of a group.
I love boxing, you know. Boxing's in my heart. It's been in my family lately.
Yes, it's supposed to be a men's sport.
It's not true. Because girls do the same thing as guys, maybe even better sometimes.
When they come into the gym, I let them know they have the equal or the same rights as do the kids here, boys.
I like to be different, so why not choose something that's not a girl sport?
It's good. You need more of that, like, to show girls can do something that guys can do too, you know. There shouldn't be no racism towards that, you know, because girls can do anything else that guy can do.
I come into you, 1, 2, 3. I come in.
It shows you a lot of discipline and like to push yourself to get where you want.
Keeps a lot of kids off the streets.
It keeps them doing something, and a lot of these exercises, what we teach, it also stimulates the brain. Makes them a lot more at school, and here you have to keep a great average to compete in the sport.
It teaches you manners and it gets you to a better place.
Shows you self-discipline, because once you're in the ring, it's just you and the other person.
It's hard, but you get the hang of it. Like every day as it goes by, it gets easier and easier.
You gotta learn to get hit and you gotta take it, you know. You get hit hard, you just gotta take it.
I've seen girls compete real good. They throw punches, move the way they're supposed to move.
1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3.
Teaches you how to take a hit.
That's pretty hard to teach. You teach someone just to take punches directly. These females, they move, avoid punches, and then they attack.
Just not to be afraid of what the world has to put, like, to hit you.
Actually, girls are easier to teach than guys. they're more understanding. They follow directions pretty good.
3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
My dad wanted me to do it so I can defend myself in school and like anywhere else, like where I go by myself.
At first, I was scared. I didn't want to look. She's so petite, she's so tiny, but I was very proud of her when I saw her in the ring. She's real good. She actually won the ringside belt.
I like to have the parents involved, because more to show the parents it's not a bad sport.
We were all excited for her. I was definitely excited for her. She has fun with it, is what she does.
I like to block everybody out. I'm just right there in the ring, just focusing on me and the other person.
She's actually very girly. She's very girly. She likes little nails and makeup, and she's very girly. Then you see her in the ring and she's going at it. So yeah, she's very different from the ring to the outside.
2, 3, 2. They train for the rest of their life. It stays with them forever.
Let their kids try it and let them get in the ring, because it's a different thing from training to getting in the ring. It's a whole different thing. It's a lot of nerves, and just from sparring out here, it's a different thing fighting at a tournament. You know, getting in front of all of these people. You know, this is nothing compared to like a national tournament and stuff. So you have to experience that.
I've been to ringside, silver gloves, golden gloves, JOs, and I have had about 20.
The love of the sport, where 2 companions go in the ring, and there can only be 1 winner. Even though, when I tell my kids, even though you step across that rope and you compete, you still win, because this takes a lot of courage to get up in front of a whole bunch of people just looking at 2 persons swinging. The main challenge is a lot of these tournaments, they don't allow females, national tournaments, even the Olympics. Barely this year, 4 weight classes, which is not enough. You have all these females competing in 4 weight classes, so you're missing out on some of the good females.
I'm planning on heading to the Junior Olympics. I really want to get there to see if I'm ready to become a pro, because that's what I want to be when I grow up, a professional boxer. And I'm really excited for that.
This sport, it does have its ups and downs, but it has its good sides.
Don't be afraid to come out here and just be confident in what you have in yourself.
Thank you for joining us, and until next time, this is Conversations That Matter.